guys, how are you all doing? It's a girl Cindy, and I'm back again today with another gist. I trust you guys are doing great. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So, this Asian guy is getting cancelled on TikTok because of this video. Now, the caption says, "Why don't people just comply with the police?" This video didn't sit well with some people. Of course, they staged his video canceling him. I'm gonna let this video roll so you guys can hear all the things he said. Like, it was just like a rant. He was just, going on and on. Please check this video out.
Look, I know what I'm about to say might be seen as really, really controversial, but why don't motherfuckers just comply with the police? Because I've seen my fair share now of police brutality videos, and I'm 1000% confident that at least half of these motherfuckers wouldn't have died if they just complied with what the police were saying. And look, I completely get that these guys are probably shitting their pants in fear right now, because I would be too. I'd be scared as hell if I was in that situation. But I'm going to ask you guys this as well. If you were in a random situation where it wasn't a cop, but it was you getting robbed by somebody in a dark alleyway and he had a gun to your fucking back, would you act the same way as you would where you're just flailing your arms around, screaming and kicking this motherfucker? No, because that's how you get shot and that's how you die. Like, I just find it really, really weird that these guys just start playing IRL dumb ways to die as soon as there's a cop involved. Like, how do you guys do every single thing possible to raise your chances of getting killed by a cop today? I genuinely find it appalling. Like, my guy, it's just a routine traffic stop. I don't know why you just want to fucking turn into the Flash all of a sudden and just speed off into the fucking distance because, like, you weren't even in trouble in the first place. You're putting yourself in more danger for no reason. And for the people that say, oh, I don't comply with police is because I hate all police, that shit would make no fucking sense either. I fucking hate my English teacher, but I still listen to what the hell she says. Like, not listening to my English teacher and not doing any of the work she assigns is not gonna fucking help my situation any better. It's gonna make it even worse. Same reason for these cops. You can hate cops as much as you want, but not complying with them is actually worse for you than it is good for you. Like, if I ever get pulled over by a cop, I'm turning into Siri for fucking 30 minutes straight, answering every single command in question. No questions asked. They're going to ask me, what's your name? Elijah Amihan, sir. Korean, Chinese, American. I live at 2234 West Ridge Road. Like, I'm answering every single fucking question just so I can get out that hoe as fast as possible. But for some reason, motherfuckers just love arguing police for no goddamn reason. Refusing to answer the most basic fucking questions like, what's your name? Oh, I'm not going to give you my name. Can I see your ID and license? Oh, no, I'm not going to give that to you today, sir. It's like, motherfucker, why are you making it so hard for yourself? Like, you're acting like the cops are like fucking Facebook and Instagram and they're going to sell your info to big tech companies for advertisements. They're just normal fucking people who are just trying to do their job. And look, I'm not trying to say that police brutality doesn't happen to people in this country. It 1000% does. But what I am trying to say is that you not complying with police does not make you some advocate anti-cop rebel. It just makes you a fucking dick that's just wasting you and the cops' time for no fucking reason.
Wow. Okay. Now, should I say that I am surprised that he turned his comment section off? Like, people staged his video literally asking him to open his comment section so they can come in there and respond or at least answer the question, because the caption says, "Why don't people just comply with the police?" Anyways, a lot of people staged this video and I have put these videos together. Let's just hear from them, especially from Black people. And we all know, we have seen videos. We have seen videos, stories, police stopping a Black person. It doesn't go down well. Like, that Black person will literally be in fear. Like, I don't know if I'm going to make it home. Literally. Guys, I have put together a few stitches. Let's just hear from them. And of course, I'm going to show you some random comments I grabbed from some comment sections. Please check the stitches out.
Half of these motherfuckers wouldn't have died if they just complied with what the police were saying.
Like, this is why I'm a big fan of not using the term people of color, because people of color weaponize their anti-blackness anytime they get in order to prove a point. To sit here and say half of the people that have died, let's say within the past 10 years from police brutality, wouldn't have died if they just simply comply, creates this fictitious reality that most of the people who have died from police brutality were even given an opportunity to comply. Derek Chauvin died while being handcuffed. Man just got shot at in the back of a police squad car while being handcuffed. People like Tyree Nichols, Elijah McClain died being surrounded by at least approximately 5 officers and beaten to death. So when you sit here and say, well, you would have survived if you complied, is so utterly disgustingly obnoxious and racist. It predicates our survival as Black people on our ability to listen to mostly white police officers whose history as a police institution originated from being slave catchers. We should have obeyed Massa, and we shouldn't be surprised when we die because we didn't obey Massa. Like, disrespectfully, please go fuck yourself. People of color, particularly white people, love to use opinions like this guy's to justify their anti-Blackness towards the idea of police. Sitting here saying they're just trying to do their job when their entire job is fascism and oppression is fucking mind-boggling insane. We have countries in Europe and probably elsewhere that don't even require police interaction when doing basic fucking things like clocking somebody for speeding. The fact that speeding can become a dangerous event for Black people should let you know that it isn't about complying. These aren't people who are just simply speeding off and disrespecting the law simply because they feel like it. This is a population of people that has been historically traumatized by the same force that was used to ensure that they were properly subjugated by the state. The same force that has never actually treated Black people with no sense of racial bias or prejudice for the past 500 years. We went from slavery to apartheid, aka Jim Crow, aka segregation. Then we went to the war on crime and drugs. And now, between 2000 and 2020, police officers are allowed to kill Black people on camera in front of groups doing literal public lynchings and get away with it. We had to fight super hard for Derek Chauvin and company to get away with a crime that was publicly committed. And people argued back and forth whether or not the crime was even committed when they had plethora of witnesses over a crime of what? A claim of a counterfeit bill? Like, y'all people don't actually see value in Black lives. That is the only conclusion that I get from videos like this. It is such a disgustingly shit take that has been shitted on over and over and over again. People get arrested in ways that they might not have if they were more obedient towards the police, sure. And I'm not here to judge them, because most of the time when a police officer wants to arrest you for you being a dick, that is considered unlawful. Suddenly freedom of speech doesn't matter when you're interacting with a police officer who can arrest you for a bad attitude or calling him a bitch. Hell, a white disabled veteran got arrested for simply insinuating that he was going to file a complaint against them. And that happened in Florida. The fact that y'all would sooner advocate for the fascist police that are willing to arrest you over butthurt feeling rather than actually be the professionals that they claim to be and do their job properly and be objective about the situation says so much more about how much you'll bootlick them than anything else. This has never been about complying with orders. It has always been about the dehumanization of Black and brown people. A woman got ran over, and the first response for the 2 officers involved and associated with the incident was to mock her literal death, calling her subhuman, basically treating her like trash. And I know he'll sit here and say, well, that's not what I'm talking about. Well, then what are you talking about? Please show me one instance where the death of a person by the hands of a police officer was warranted because they didn't listen to an instruction. And if you manage to find one scenario that fits that bill, that will let you know that the police are fucking fascists. Because if the realm between life and death hinges on me being obedient, then we live in a fascist state, which I already knew that. But some of y'all like to be delusional and think that we don't. There's a huge difference between not being obedient and posing a threat to the police. But because we've tied obediency to the police as a threat and risk to the state, this is how we see protesters, Black people inherently, people who are against the interests of America as threats to America. Suddenly, freedom of speech doesn't matter. Suddenly, people's act to protest doesn't matter. Suddenly, our lives do not matter because we do not obey the state and what the state says. If you don't understand how not being completely obedient to the state is and should not be something punishable by death, like, what are we even doing here? If that is punishable by death, then you have absolutely co-signed state-sanctioned public executions that are completely biased on the basis of officers who end up being judge, jury, and executioner. And the thing that pisses me off the most about these conservative red pill-esque videos that slip into the cracks of people who are basically moderate and attract a very conservative and red pill base of mostly white people who are racist but will tell you that not everything is about race and that they're not racist, is that people will sit here and say, oh, he's so based, oh, he's so logical, oh, he makes so much sense. He said some random bullshit, backed it up with nothing, and affirmed all of these racist people's opinions about their view on police brutality and how black people are actually the reason as to why they're dying in mass. All on Black History Month. Y'all can go genuinely fuck yourselves.
Really controversial, but why don't motherfuckers just comply with the police?
I don't usually do this, but this mofo is bold for keeping his stitches on. This is why I say anti-blackness is global and that there will never be POC solidarity. I'm not saying it can't happen, but y'all gotta get rid of y'all anti-blackness first. Cause what the are you serious? And y'all been think we be making this stuff up. I'm not surprised. I'm really not. That's like, wow. Like, he really sat there and recorded it. And see, this is another reason why a lot of black people say there is no POC solidarity, because a lot of y'all lack intersectionality. Because what in y'all... There are countless black people and dark-skinned people who have died from police brutality, and you say this? Even when they did comply. First, this dude did no research. He has no compassion, no empathy. And he has millions of followers. I remember a girl said not too long ago that POC men, specifically the lighter they get, are like white women. And honestly, I see it. Cause who are you pandering to? Hot mess. His stitch is still on. Hey, okay, I went back to his page. He doesn't have millions of followers. He has enough. Alright. Too much, in my opinion, to be spewing all that nonsense. And the thing is, when non-black people be saying this stuff, they rarely get chastised by the other people in their community. And that's just something to look out for. Hey, keep your eyes open.
Look, I know what I'm about to say might be seen as really, really controversial, but why don't motherfuckers...
Okay, so this was a really interesting video, and I don't think he had any malintent behind this. The thing about police brutality for minorities, and specifically black people, is that being, pulled over by the police is way worse than being trapped in a fucking dark alleyway with a goddamn goon. Like, yo, I've literally had a gun pulled on me before, and I laughed in that nigga's face. But seeing a police officer 20 feet away from me scares the shit out of me. You never know if you're gonna be the guy the police officer decides to take his anger out on. And the sad truth about these routine traffic stops and these routine home invasions and shit is that it doesn't matter if you comply or not, you're still going to die. I would much rather go out kicking and screaming and making sure my story gets told than just sitting there and letting myself die. It's never just a routine traffic stop. It's never just searching someone's apartment. It's never just identifying a suspect. When these people look at you as less than human, as beneath them, you're going to die regardless. I don't think it's a matter of complying.
Really, really controversial, but why don't motherfuckers just comply with the police?
Better question. Why do y'all ask questions and then close the comment section? Did you not like the answers that you got? Maybe you're scared of the answers that you might get? Come on, open the comment section. Since you asked the question, let me answer.
Look, I know what I'm about to say might be seen as really, really controversial, but why don't motherfuckers...
TikTok, this is not hate speech or bullying harassment, but this is to spread education and awareness. And with that, the reason why most of us, I'm going to speak on my black kings and queens on Black History Month. The reason why most of us still comply and are still unalived is because blackness is a detrimental threat to the system of which was started by the hands of people that oppressed us. And if you don't understand that, Google is free, right? So, again, it's not even compliance. It's the ability to go home at night and know that you can make it to see another day. I've said this more than several times, right? Anytime a black man or woman is faced at the hands of a Wahite male counterpart or female, we are 3 to 4 times more likely to be unalived. That is statistical fact. Again, Google is free. To hate me is to love me, right? Once again, this is why this is a 10-minute video, because some of y'all just need to be educated. And if it hurts you, like, oh well. Oh well. I'm not here for your triggers. Again, Google is free. Google is free. And some of y'all just need to be educated during Black History Month and just year round, right? Once again, we are not asking to not comply. But again, I can give you a list of people who complied and still were unalived. Dante Wright. Dante Wright was a 17-year-old male who literally had air freshener dangling from his rearview mirror. And at the opposing time, female officer Kim Potter walks up to the car, decides that clearly a handgun and a taser are the same. Literally unalives Dante in the car with his girlfriend as while he's calling his mom on the phone in a dangerous situation that he cannot get out of. He just wanted to go home. Loving father, brother, and uncle at the same time. It's Dante Wright. That's one, right? So I don't want to hear none of y'all being like, well, you know. I'm giving you statistical fact and evidence, right? For educational purposes. Once again. At the same time, I can give you another one. Mike Brown. Brown was asked to comply. They asked him to put his hands up, and when he put his hands up, he was unalived right there in front of his classmates and bodies of the student council and the majority of his education class, right? That was Mike Brown. I could go on and on. Being black isn't something that I chose to be. Being black is something that I am. Again, being black isn't something that I chose to be. Being black is something that I am. I will forever be proud of my blackness. I will forever be proud to stand here on this application as a black man and spread awareness and education to those that need it, and some of y'all that might need coaching and help on it to understand. Black people are not a monolith. We are not a monolith. We are simply trying to live and exist in a world that does not love us. It's simple. One of the things that kind of irked my soul in this video is that he said he doesn't like his English teacher, or that he had a hatred for his English teacher, but he would still listen because it would affect him or his grade, right? It's completely understandable. But that analogy does not apply to people that look like me, right? And we clearly know this. Again, like I said, Black and brown people are more than 3 to 4 times likely to be unalive by white, or men or females in uniform. Again, black and brown people are 3 to 4 times more likely to be unalive by Wahite men and women. I understand America has a problem with blackness. They understand it. But in the system of which was created at the hands of Wahite people, there's one thing that we have to understand. In order to break a system, you must acknowledge that you were the originators of that system. And until we can get to that point where we understand that, we are still going to be divided. Racism will still exist. And we will forever teach Wahite history instead of black history. Being black, again, being black isn't something I chose to be. Being black is something I am. And I'm proud to be it.
So I took some screenshots of comments as usual randomly. Like I said, he turned his comment section off. So I grabbed some comments randomly so you guys can see what other people said, about his video. Please pause to read if you want to. Now, looking at this guy, something tells me he's new to this argument, because if you've seen, as a person, if you have seen so many police brutality videos, you wouldn't have come to this conclusion. You wouldn't even make this video in the first place. Everything is literally on social media. Google it, just go on TikTok, you are gonna see loads of videos. As I was going through some comments, I saw this comment. This person was saying that some people were literally agreeing with him in his comment section before he turned it off. I'm not surprised at all. Like, I am not surprised. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. Let me know what you all think in the comments, guys, and thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and of course come back for another video. I'm gonna see y'all in my next one. Y'all take care. Bye.